This offseason had some unexpected moves, but one of the most controversial moves was Gordon Hayward signing a 4-year, $120 million contract with the Charlotte Hornets. I remember seeing the announcement and just thinking, why? So today, I'm going to be diving deeper into the signing and answering the question on everybody's lips. Is Gordon Hayward worth all that money? Ever since that unfortunate injury in the 2017-2018 season opener, Gordon Hayward has never quite reached the level he was on the Utah Jazz, and it has been hard for him to find a rhythm as he has always been injury prone. Don't get me wrong, he has still been a great player for the past couple of seasons, but he was a dog on the Jazz, playing at an all-star level, and right now, he is definitely not that. This past season, Gordon Hayward averaged 17.5 points, 6.7 rebounds, and 4.1 assists on a very efficient 50% from the field and 38.3% from 3. Those stats are amazing for someone who was practically a fourth option on the team, but when we look at how Gordon Hayward has played in the playoffs since that injury, it's clear that he wasn't the same. Now, when you have a player like Hayward on your roster, you expect them to get better in the playoffs, but Hayward got worse as he dropped in every statistical category, including his efficiency. Now, it's understandable to drop in stats as Tatum, Brown, and Kemba were taking more shots in the playoffs, but his efficiency dropping is inexcusable. In the 2020 playoffs, Gordon Hayward played only 5 games out of the 17 games that the Celtics played, as he had injured his ankle. In those 5 games, he averaged 10.8 points, 2.8 assists, and 4 rebounds on a very inefficient 40% from the field and 29% from 3. Yikes, and keep in mind that was as a fourth option. With those stats, it's clear to see why people were questioning the Charlotte Hornets for signing Hayward. The Hornets are a team that have a lot of promising young players like Devontae Graham, who had a breakout season last year, and the very hyped up rookie LaMelo Ball. Let's keep it real, they are not likely to make the playoffs with their current roster, so why would they sign a 30-year-old? It just doesn't fit what they're trying to do. Hayward is going to take shots away from Melo and Graham, and therefore they're going to develop slower compared to if Hayward wasn't on the team. Also, as much as I have emphasized that Hayward isn't at an all-star level right now, he is still a solid player, and there is no doubt that he will win them extra games. But why would the Hornets want that right now? They should focus on developing the young guys and getting a high draft pick next year so they can get another solid piece. Because as I said before, they aren't good enough to make the playoffs, and I don't see them being that good in the near future either. What concerns me even more than them signing a player that doesn't fit is how much money they gave him. If you're paying $120 million to a player over 4 years, then that player needs to be a big part of your team. And as I mentioned before, Hayward hasn't performed well when it mattered the most in the postseason, and that was as a fourth option. Like, yeah, Hayward is going to be a good leader and mentor for the young guys, but you aren't paying him $30 million a season for only that. With him joining Charlotte, he is now their best player and he will be their first scoring option. So you have to wonder if he can perform night in, night out with teams focused on shutting him down. In the next 3 to 4 years, it's likely that Devontae or Melo will step up and be the number one option for that team. And then you're paying $30 million for a 32 or 33-year-old Hayward, and he isn't even a top 2 player on your team. Also, Hayward has always been injury prone, so if he's sitting on the bench for most games in the season and getting $30 million, then that's just eating away at your salary cap. And who knows, in the next 3 to 4 years, if they didn't have that money spent on Hayward, they could have got a top player in free agency. And then they would have had a very solid team. But with Hayward's contract, they won't have much leeway, if any, with the salary cap to sign an all-star level player in the future. Another concern with his contract is if Charlotte wants to trade him, they're going to have to settle for less value as teams won't want to take on his contract. They may even have to give up one of their picks to get rid of Hayward's contract. The Hornets really screwed themselves by making this signing, and if it isn't obvious, I'll reiterate that in my opinion, Hayward is not worth the money that Charlotte gave him, and in the next few seasons, I think they're going to regret the signing for the reasons I mentioned in the video. But that's just my opinion. What about yours? Tell me what you think about Hayward joining the Hornets in the comments below. That's all from me. Thanks for watching and stay ballin'. Peace.